What's up, people? Hope you're good. Hope you're well. It's the penultimate Tottenham review. I just don't know. We've just obviously lost again in our final home game to Brentford. Got an absolute lesson from Brentford in the second half. There's a lot to talk about, but first of all, Ben, how you doing, brother?
Pretty angry.
Pretty angry.
Yeah, pretty angry. I'm so angry that I've forgotten to wear my scarf, but who cares? It's in the name.
Mate, yeah, I was so angry today, I forgot to take my scarf. It was on my bed.
But today's performance was...
That was so fun. I had it ready to go.
Yeah, I interrupted myself. What do you think, Ben? It doesn't matter what you think. It's me.
Oh, mate, that just sums up the season, doesn't it?
That sums up
the season.
Right there.
But yeah, go on, Ben. Have your say, and then we'll get into it. But what was you saying?
That was a disastrous performance. Yep. Like, anyone that watched that and is not teetering towards our way of thinking, I don't know where is your breaking point? It's that question we ask every week. Where is your breaking point? If that was not a breaking point for you, I don't know what is. You're clearly made out of blancmange because you don't break. You're clearly made out of Hartley's jelly or some other gelatinous dessert thing. But yeah, where is your breaking point?
Yeah, I mean, before we get into our newspaper, breaking news from me. I will be with Ben in the We Are Tottenham TV studio replacing Simeon tomorrow.
Yeah.
So anyone after you've watched this review and want a bit more talk about you know who and you know what, you'll find me at the mothership. But that's enough of that. We now are going to get forward to our official paper. The official
Tottenham Chronicle. Yay!
For the Tottenham Chronicle. Boy, what have we got in the studio, Ben?
So, Sunday, a load of diabolical stuff happened after our terrible performance the other day. Monday, the Tottenham Hotspur Supporter Trust wrote a very strongly worded letter. Like that's ever going to bloody do anything. As much as I respect you guys, but Jesus, what the hell, guys? A strongly worded letter is not going to do anything. Tuesday, we announced our trip to Thailand. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. We have Pinto or Stuyton are two of the names involved with becoming the director of football. And the humdingers of Tuesday. Tuesday is the worst ever day of the week. It was the day Krakatoa went up, if you know your day in history. Brendan Rodgers wants the Spurs job. And Eric Dyer is being offered a 3-year extension to his contract. Tuesday, you can go and F yourself. Wednesday, PSG do not want Harry Kane. So that's a bit of good news. He's just going to go somewhere else instead. Followed by Donna Marie Cullen, a person that has no idea about football. A person that's got no coaching badges, no anything about football, is pushing for Brendan Rodgers to be the brand new Tottenham manager. If anyone thinks that this woman is a suitable candidate to be on the boardroom of a football club, you are mental. I apologise if that offends you, but it's the truth. Thursday, Lucas Moura is leaving. Thank God. Finally. Stolen a living for 4 years. And we will talk about Lucas Moura later in the video because I've got a bone to pick with many people and their over-sentimental views on Lucas Moura, a man that turned up in one game in his Tottenham history, and yet he needs to be lauded as a legend of the football club. Hang your heads in shame. Embarrassing Instagram admin. Yes, they announced that Tottenham remembered what we won a trophy in 1991. Something we've forgotten how to do over the last 20 years. You absolute embarrassing employees. Why are you talking about this? Friday, Steichen has been offered the job. So that's an interesting thing. He has got multiple offers, and Tottenham is apparently one of them. And apart from the embarrassing performance that happened today, Julian Nagelsmann has actually told Tottenham who to employ as their director of football, because the man knows what he's talking about. So that is an FU to Tottenham that say they've never talked to Julian Nagelsmann. They have, because he has said, I've actually recommended who to make the sporting director. I know who I'd like to work with. So Tottenham, stop lying. And to everyone that bought the Chronicle, you should never have bought this newspaper. It is an absolute waste of money, just like my season ticket.
Mate, first of all, at least the Tottenham Chronicle tells the truth. And I was waiting to see if you realised you missed a massive one. You missed a massive one.
Oh,
Daniel Levy raises one Hotspur membership.
Oh, God, I forgot about that. Right. I can't pick up the pieces. The paper's already over there in a million pieces. Yes. We also raised our our membership prices.
Mate,
Yay!
Mate. Do you know what? This has just been the biggest shit show I've ever seen. If someone had said to me, as staunch as they come in the Levy out movement, has said, I want you to write down your worst scenario of the season, but be realistic. Realistic. I couldn't have got half this stuff. I couldn't have got half of this stuff going on. We are a disgrace.
Yeah.
We are a shambles. I mean, Ben, we're going to come on to the game and everything. We'll have a little debrief. I mean, I'll tell you now, just in anticipation. Do you know what? We went to the Coaching Horses, as you know, Ben, after the protest, and we're going to speak about the protest in a minute. The biggest fun we had, obviously, we were watching the game. Crackers was with us. Crackers was an unbelievable guy. And I will let you know, and I'll let you know in front of Ben, Crackers will be appearing on the channel sometime soon. So it's going to be brilliant to have Crackers. I had a wonderful day with him. But we're watching the game in the pub. And some of the biggest fun we had is when we saw Phil Pease, big up Phil Pease, golden purple balloons get onto the pitch.
Yeah.
As well as the black balloons. And at one point on one side of the pitch, I think by your side, they were having a race to see what crossed the halfway line. That was what we're doing. We're like having funny little bets and going, oh, mate, there were so many balloons on that pitch.
One of the things I noticed about the balloons is the Tottenham players didn't want to pop them just in case they didn't want to pop them.
They were, mate, the ball almost hit one. We almost had a Darren Bent episode.
I was really hoping that the ball would hit one of the balloons and go in the back of the Brentford net and be like, yes, Levy out helps.
It got picked up in the press very quickly. The press were going on about it. But before we go on about the protest, before we go on about everything we're going to talk about, because listen, there's not going to be sections today. The whole section is this. And actually, I feel weird just having his name. I'm going to have to add to that. Sorry, let me just
get rid of it. I don't want to see that.
No, I'm going to change it. 1 second.
Particularly sick, Brian. I might have to get my top hat down just in case I need a more.
There you go. Now it's better. Watch.
Oh,
now it's better.
There we go. I like that a bit more.
Now it makes more sense. I just want to say, on behalf of myself and all the protesters, and I'm not going to start mentioning names because I'll be going on for ages and I'll miss people out. I just want to thank you from behalf of us for all the support that people have given worldwide, that have given from within the country, that can't get to the games, the ones that have come to protest. We started this 2 years ago, and it was just the beginning of something. It was still very much, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about, and vile and whatever. But gradually, people are seeing it for what it is. People are realizing. And listen, as I always say, people have their own straw that broke the camel's back moment. But I want to thank you for all the support, because without your retweets, without your shares, without you subscribing to the channels, without your comments, it would have gone anywhere. So thank you. Ben, what was your thoughts of today, protest wise?
I enjoyed it. Again, it was the fourth week in a row where the protest was actually the most enjoyable part of the day. I got to see all my mates. We had some wonderful lunch with myself, Danny Kyriacou, and Mrs. Kyriacou. We had the Phil P. We had, well, there's too many names. We had the guys from Tottenham away. We had all the guys that came down. We had Brian Maguire. Big up to Brian Maguire for coming all the way down from the north to see the protest. Chris Agenbar, the number one Agenbar in the world, as you know, and the millions of names that you could reel off. It was great. I enjoyed it. We made plenty of noise. There were plenty of cameras showing us. And hopefully, after that performance, people would think, okay, they might be onto something here. Because what followed it, everything else was a disaster. That's why I go to Tottenham. I don't go to Tottenham for the football. I go for the protest, and I go to the Chit King because I love the Chit King. Big up the Chit King. That's the only reason I go to the game now. And bad.
I have to say as well. I am going to name someone, or I'm going to name a couple. Or so I can't remember what channel it or what show it was this week, but I did a show this week. I think it might have been the one with Stel. I think it might have been the one with Stelios. And there was a comment in there that said, "Brian, tickets booked. I'll see you at the protest." And I thought, what do you mean tickets booked? Someone travelled from Finland.
Yep.
Jonas was there, and he's been in the comments. If you're watching this, Jonas, big up to you, my man. What a legend. What an incredible guy. And he was saying he did this as well for Manchester United. Was his first one. He flew in from Finland. And I was talking to him, really, really top guy. His family, or where he was staying, I think it was family, Bognor Regis.
Yeah.
So he's flown from Finland, gone to Bognor Regis, come to Tottenham, and it's the second time he's done it. So big up to you. Then I had a guy from America come and go, "Hey, Brian, hey." Spoke to him. Then Brian Maguire came, and he came to the pub with us to watch the game as well. Top man from Glasgow. This man's travelled from Glasgow. Then someone stopped and asked for a picture with me. They're from Australia.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they flew in from Australia because of, I know Jonas flew in from Finland. But the great thing is, it's getting the exposure. It is getting the exposure.
Fans are now starting to attend these things because they've had enough.
Yep.
If our home fan base were as dedicated as our international fans, we'd be some force. We'd be some force. But it's just the way it is. But it's just, the protest is the best part of the game. It's the best part of the game.
Yeah.
And that is really sad. But it's also quite funny, really. At least it's a social occasion. You get to see your mates.
It's what we've become. And like I said, the one thing people said to me today, do you reckon that was the biggest or the best one? And Man U was a great one because of the weather, the turnout of the Thursday night. But I think the difference with today was people stayed for longer. It wasn't people stayed for 20 minutes and then went. And don't get me wrong, the weather was beautiful, so it helped compared to United. But the noise was being made, and there's new people going, "Brian, count on me. I will be here every home game next season. I will do what it takes." It's just a real shame we've got to where we are right at the death of the season. Right at the end. If this had been well, you know what? I mean, we'll go to Leeds, and then it'll be the summer of disappointment. And we're going to come on to a few things. I mean, I don't know if people saw Paul O'Keefe's tweet. Paul O'Keefe has said, "Listen, in the coming weeks." Wait, I'll see if I can find it. Whilst we are trying to find it, I can't remember. What do you think of Mr. Levy's end of season address?
I thought it was embarrassing. It showed no accountability. It should just, it didn't, the end of season address should have been 2 words. I am sorry.
Yep.
That's all it needed to be. It rambled on for line after line, letter after letter of just waffle. Where's box office where you need him? Because it was waffle. It was all waffle. It was more waffle than IHOP. More waffle than IHOP. There was no words of accountability. I will make this up to you. We will improve next year. I will step away from football and let football people do footballing matters. I'm sorry you had to go all the way to Sheffield United on a freezing cold night and watch us turn up. I'm sorry you flew all the way to Milan, got treated like absolute animals by the UEFA officials, and again we still didn't turn up. They should just say, I am sorry. That's all you need to do. You get a tiny bit of a morsel of respect if you just said, I am sorry, and showed some transparency. But they do not care. It does not hurt them. It is, we are legacy fans.
Yep.
We are not the fans they want. And I see this in all the comment sections of other people's videos. You're not a real Tottenham fan, because the club has told them we're not real football Tottenham fans.
Yep.
Although I have been a season ticket holder for quite a lot of my life now, I am not a real Tottenham fan. I was not there. Those same people are not going to Sheffield United on a freezing cold night and getting soaked, and then Tottenham not turn. They're sitting in their lovely armchairs, probably drinking some lovely Prosecco from Moet and Chandon. And we are braving all the elements to turn up and support our team. And we're not real fans to the club.
Yep.
They do not care about us. I love Tottenham, but Tottenham does not love me. This is words we all need to repeat all the time. And they just need to say the words, I am sorry.
Well, mate, this is it. I mean, I've got the things that got me. I mean, when I saw it, I was going mad. For a change. Who would have thought it?
Yeah, for a change.
So I'm just going to read the bits here. So it starts. This season has been immensely difficult. This has been an immensely difficult season. We have made footballing decisions over recent seasons based on ambition, and desire, and a desire to bring success to the club. Lies. And then it's the best thing. And they have not delivered what we had hoped. Who's they? Shouldn't it have been we haven't delivered?
We have not delivered.
But then it goes, your frustration has been understandable, and all of us at the club shared it. We have undertaken a thorough and rigorous review of our footballing operation. Scott Munn joined us in the summer as our new chief football officer, and we look forward to sharing further news within the postseason. Today, we have to focus on finishing the season strongly and get behind Ryan Mason. Get behind, mate. This is all to do with trying to deflect away from you. I'm not going to read because he starts going on about the youth team and whatever. I just can't be asked. Just looking at anything.
I've got something to say about getting behind Ryan Mason.
Go on.
60th minute of the game, you are 2-1 down to Brentford, and you do a typical Tottenham move. Sentimentality instead of winning mentality. You bring on Lucas Moura, who has cost you in the last 2 games he's played for the football club. Everton and Liverpool. He let us down. You're bringing him on to win the game. Disgrace. He shouldn't manage the club next week. That is disgraceful. He's got a £60 million Richarlison and a £40 million Pedro Porro, who have done slightly better in recent weeks. Play them. You've done the typical Tottenham thing of, we like this guy. Let's be nice to him. Let's be nice. He's not good enough. They gave him a standing ovation instead of saying, no, the game. A standing ovation for a player that has been terrible for the last 3 years. He's been living off of his night in the lights in Amsterdam, and he hasn't turned up since. It is a disgrace. It is a terrible, terrible disgrace that he's played him. Right, like even my dad is not the most aggressive person in the world. Even he's screaming, why bring on Mora? What's he going to do? Even my mum is screaming, why are you bringing him on? Why are you bringing him on? What has he done? What to deserve getting on? He's not earned a place on that pitch. The last 2 games, which we've watched together, Brian, he's ruined both of them. He's ruined both of them. He's not good enough. Why is he playing? This is why Ryan Mason, all those people not the people that are saying Mason in as a joke, the people that actually are saying make Ryan Mason the head coach of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, you have got no idea about football. You have never watched a football game in your life. That is why you don't make Ryan Mason manager. Because in my opinion, which is probably me reaching and fishing, he's been told by someone to play him. This entire week has been the Lucas Moura show, showing videos of him crying, saying, oh, I'll always be a Tottenham fan, this, that, and the other. He's not. Why didn't they do this video sooner? The entire week was leading up to Lucas Moura playing.
You mean like a Harry Kane mural that they'll do just at they'll do to deflect.
Liverpool, a football club that actually cares about footballing things, they brought on a player in Roberto Firmino, not because of sentimentality, because it's his last game. They brought him on because they knew he had if he would get a chance, he would put it in the back of the net. And that's what Roberto Firmino did. It's a disgrace the way this football club is run. We are run like a social club, a total, utter social club. We are run like King Solomon High School, for anyone that knows that.
Yeah, I mean, what I will say, I mean, if you're going to do it, you bring more on with like 1 minute to go or 2 minutes. You do it when the game...
3-0 up with no chance of us losing.
Yeah. It's... Listen, I agree with you that he's fallen short. But again, you look at it, I don't totally blame Mora because he's had shit to work with, apart from Kane, Son when he's been good. This is what we do with our players. This is what we do. We don't. I mean, I still remember, and I was going mad. This is before I knew you, and this was before I was still buying stuff from the club shop at that point because it was like the next summer that I didn't. I remember that day we signed Lucas Moura. When we actually signed him, this goes to show just how bad it is. He arrived the day before deadline day in the country and was having his medicals and whatever. On deadline day, Arsenal agreed with a fee for Aubameyang and he flew from Germany and signed.
Yep.
Giroud went to Chelsea.
Yep.
And signed. And Batshuayi went on loan to Dortmund and signed. All before
we signed Lucas Moura.
Lucas Moura, who had been in the training ground 24 hours earlier.
Just so they can do a silly little Instagram video.
Yeah, so they do they do this. Listen, the one thing I will say, Lucas Moura, is he did love the club. He did love the club.
I respect that.
And as a guy, but he was another player that wasn't good enough. But because he scored a hat trick, don't get me wrong, it's a wonderful hat trick. It's a wonderful moment. Everyone will, like when they say, "Where were you when JFK died?" or when Michael Jackson or Diana. Where were you when Moura scored that hat trick? Is a great conversation piece. It is a moment in history.
And he was stopped by not playing that final.
Exactly. But again, like you say that word that I've been saying for ages as well. Sentimentality. It's like, yeah, just play him because he's done what he's been with the club for. Hasn't helped us win a trophy. Has helped us get to a final, but didn't get to play in it. It's just another. I can't find that Paul. I can't find that Paul O'Keefe tweet, but he was saying basically the rebuild is ginormous or gigantic, and get ready for players to leave and contracts to be ripped up. And I'm like, oh, fantastic. People don't get it. If we rip up the contracts of these crap players, whoever they may be,
We'll have to pay them out.
no, even if we do pay them out, you need to replace them.
Yep.
So let's just say, and I'm just choosing names here. Let's just say we get rid of Dyer and Davies.
Yeah.
We already needed 2 centre-backs with them there.
4.
Now we need 4. Hugo Lloris, 5. 2 midfielders,
Yep.
7. And a creative midfield. Oh, I said midfielder.
2 creative midfielders.
2. It's not going to happen. And then if it does happen and we get these 8, it's quantity over quality.
Yeah.
So as good as it can be, all contracts are getting, and this ain't a dig at Paul O'Keefe at all. It's the club. The club, if they're doing this and they get rid, we need to bring them in. So don't fall for the, oh yeah, look, he's ripped up Sanchez's contract. Oh yes, look, things really must be happening. We need to replace them with quality.
Yep.
With quality. I mean, Ben, should we touch on the game? Is there anything to... I think we can touch it and say, first half, we played some great stuff. I said last week, that mural going up, that's Harry Kane's goodbye.
Yeah.
Then he goes and scores a free kick, and I go, if there's a better way to sign off.
Yeah.
Harry Kane scoring a
goal. Unbelievable.
Again,
it's proved we're a one-man team, isn't it? We're a one.
But Ben, it's not even that. It's like, why weren't they doing that for free kicks before?
Yeah.
What? I mean, it's just... and another thing with this club, Arne Slot, or however you pronounce his first name, bit coincidental that these talks started really ongoing the day before the protest.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing that happened? And then we have this bad result. And apparently Nagelsmann is back in the race. I think we did that with Conte, didn't you?
Nagelsmann back in the race? I've not heard that.
Mate, that Daily Hotspur broke it. So 1 second, that I do have to tweet for.
Big up the Daily Hotspur.
Big up the Daily Hotspur. Daily Hotspur.
Find that tweet, Brian, but
there's no 2 hours ago, and it was broken by Time Sport, as in the Times.
Yeah.
Breaking, Julian Nagelsmann is back in the running to be next Tottenham Hotspur manager. However, the German wants assurances over the next club sporting director.
Oh, he's not manager then.
No. PR stunt yet again.
It's a PR stunt.
PR stunt again, but...
This 2-name list that we've apparently, that of Luis Enrique and Arne Slot, is now 5.
Yeah.
5 is bigger than 2, guys. Is it 2 or is it 5?
Exactly. Not just that, mate.
Make it a multiple of 2, like 6 or 4.
Exactly. Do like Noah's Ark. Managers come in 2 by 2s, don't they?
Yeah.
Mate, listen. Let's not talk about the game. Let's talk about Mrs. Lewis rubbing Mr. Lewis's knee. There, dear. It's going to be okay. It's going to be... Did you see the videos, Ben?
It's very funny.
Oh, mate. And he's playing with his glove, mate. And the only other thing I want to say as well, shame on Tottenham Hotspur for blaring that music right at the end. Yeah. Who are you?
It was so obvious.
Someone recorded it. It was at a ridiculous decibel level. And as Iggy from Tottenham Away was saying, the referee hadn't even finished blowing his whistle and bang.
Yeah.
It was up. I mean, people left that ground. I mean, I feel sorry for the women's team. They were probably hoping to have a big turnout. It started emptying.
I know people that left on the 60th minute.
Mate, it was shocking. It was absolutely...
I wish I'd turned up just for the women's game. At least they turned up.
Mate, at one point, me and Ryan were thinking, do we go into the women's game and just cause a goddamn scene? But then we were thinking, if we go in, then it sets a bad representation and it'll be blah, blah, blah.
The women's team don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. They're trying. It's a stable club in general.
Going back to his address, I loved it. He's thanking 2 caretaker managers because he hasn't filled them.
Yeah.
Mate, it's just... It's just awful. It's just awful. And then as fans, I mean, walking along the high road, there was no noise on the high road apart from us, was it?
It again, like you said, you could drop a pin and you would hear it. It was dead. It was like a mortuary.
It's been like that all the time, hasn't it? For the last few games.
Yeah.
It's like you're just walking. I don't want to be here, but I got. It's like your legs are carrying you there.
Yeah.
Because you have to. It's just. I can't even see what goes on at this club. I can't see. I mean, if Clement Longley gets a full-time contract at this club, and then I was talking to, I think it was Ben from We Are Tottenham TV.
Yeah.
And he even said apparently, this was after the game on the phone, apparently we're very interested in making Danjuma permanent.
Oh, for God's sake.
But do you want to know the most Tottenham thing about it? For a cut price fee.
If you don't laugh, you're going to cry.
It's like, there you go. There you go. Is there a more Spursy paragraph?
Without saying Tottenham.
Is there a more Spursy and Levy pro? Yes, we do want to sign him. But for that cut price fee. What I do want to talk about the game, so I heard a few people talking about it. What was your thoughts on Basuma this game?
Basuma was good in that first half. But he did what Basuma does. He has a really good first half. Then he clatters someone and gets a stupid yellow. And then he's on eggshells the entire game because he knows he's going to be doing too much work. If we put a James Maddison and Bentancur next to Basuma, I think he'll be phenomenal. Yep. I think he looked less sluggish. He looked like he didn't have. I always theorized that he had long COVID after he got it in the pre-season tour last year. This was a Basuma performance where he looked really good.
Good.
None of the goals came down his side. It all came down Ben Davis's angle. All from that left-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, it was just... It's just shocking. And you know what? My heart is broken. Our club is falling apart. It's falling apart. And it doesn't matter what way we look at this. This is going to continue.
Yeah.
This is going to continue. You look at it, people are now saying this is Spurs' biggest summer window. Every window is apparently our biggest window. Yeah. We've now, with that 3 goals, this is officially our worst defensive record in the Premier League. But we've broken a record today. We're the first team to score over 60 goals and concede over 60 goals.
Yep, it's typical Tottenham.
We play defensive football though, Ben.
Yeah.
Because I honestly don't know what's going to happen.
If this team could defend, we'd be right up there. But unfortunately, instead of buying defenders, we buy defensive managers and then sack them when they can't defend.
Bingo, Ben.
Yeah.
It's got to that point where that's what it is now. That's what it is. We just give a manager like Mourinho, like Conte. Oh, you've won stuff. Make these better.
Yep.
Do your thing. It was Friday. We're Thursday. Sorry. We'll end with this, Ben. I think I showed you the tweet where I said, "How can you not be Levy out when these things happen?" Newcastle, 1 game away from Champions, 1 win away from Champions League.
They could have got it today as well. If Liverpool had not have got that goal from Firmino, they'd be in the top 4 this year.
Well, you look at it. They were 19th when they took over.
Yep.
Have listened to Eddie Howe. Bought the players in Eddie Howe wanted. Haven't gone crazy like everyone thought they would. Have actually done a lot of good for Newcastle and and you've seen what they're doing with the fans.
Yep.
Does show that in 1 year things can be done.
Yep.
So you got that. West Ham are in a Conference League final.
Yep.
And could win a trophy before us. And if
it's only the Conference League though, Brian. It's only the Conference League. It's only the Carabao Mickey Mouse Cup. It's only the Europa League.
Exactly.
It's only the FA Cup.
Exactly. So there's that. Then you have Brian Hill setting up Eric Lamela to score a goal for Sevilla
What
to get
goal
to the
that was,
final.
by the way.
What a cross!
Yeah,
What a cross! And then to wrap it all off, Jose Mourinho
in another
wins the
final.
Europa Conference League in his first year, so they're in the Europa League because of it. And guess what, people?
In another
He's in
final,
another final
which he will probably win.
because that's what Jose Mourinho does. Listen, I didn't want him to come in after Poch. Didn't like the football, but he shouldn't have been sacked. If he wasn't
No.
get sacked, sack him at the end of the season.
Yeah. Or what you do is, what do you do when you hire one of the greatest managers to ever manage a football team? I know what we're going to give him: Eric Dyer, Joe Rodon, Tanganga,
Rodon's the new Skriniar, mate.
Carlos Vinicius. Instead of giving him Kim Min-jae, yes, it's hindsight. Kim Min-jae, we didn't know, but when a player is called the Beast, he's probably going to be pretty good. When he's already got a name like the Beast, he's probably going to be pretty good. But no, we spent more on buying Joe Rodon for 14 million quid or whatever it was than buying the Beast for 10 million. And now he's 60 million because he's the Beast and he's won a Serie A.
Mate, listen.
Oh, that's one thing you forgot. Pierre Luigi Gallini and Tongi and Ndombele have won a title before Harry Kane has. Be up, Pierre Luigi Gallini. Be up. And your sick bars.
Mate, listen, I mean, I'm amazed that we've even done this review because the tensions are really, really deep right now.
Yeah.
The mood is at fever pitch. We will be back next week, but what we're going to have to do is I'm off to Amsterdam on Sunday with work, so we won't be able to do it after Leeds.
Yeah.
We're going to have to record it Saturday night before I get ready to go to the airport.
Yeah.
But guys, listen, this one hasn't been very structured or anything. We've just been rattling off because after today, it's just needed to be done. Ben, give a quick shout out to your coffee shop, brother.
Yeah, find us on the Coffee Company Monday through Friday. Chill, relaxing streams. I'm never usually like this, guys. I'm usually very chill and very methodical. But today, I'm at my wit's end. So find us over at the Coffee Company on YouTube. I will put the link in the description when this video is posted. And then let's just be nice to each other. This is the part of the community where everyone's nice to each other. We welcome all sorts of people and we have a great time. So go to the Coffee Company. You can find us on the internet and all that stuff. And then let's drink some great coffee together. And then you can find us on here as well.
There you go. So listen, guys, thanks for your time. Thank you for all your help this season with the promotion of the protest. Hopefully people will be with us next year when we get going, next season when we get going. Please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you like and comment. And as always, Levy out.